Hey, what's up guys? Jeremy Donson here with thedrumprofessor.com. Today we're going to be going over Master of Puppets by Metallica, one of my favorite songs by them. I really like a lot of Metallica songs, but this one's a lot of fun to play. It's really busy on the drums, and there's some fast fills and some challenging parts in here. We're actually going to tackle one of the harder parts, in my opinion, which is one of the big drum breaks that he does, and he does a lot of drum fills in there. So before we get into this, though, if you like this video, definitely like, share, and subscribe, and also feel free to leave any comments, anything you think. But also, if you haven't taken advantage of the free one-on-one live jam session or lesson with me, definitely take advantage of that. It's free, it's fun. I'd love to see where you're at and help you get to the next level quick. So hope you enjoy this video. Let's start at 2:43. Here we go. All right, ton of fun. Love it. Okay, so let's start at the beginning of what we do here. Right, that's the intro to this section. Let's do that with music. 2:43. So once you do the fill getting into this, hit it 8 times. You're gonna go crash and digga. Crash with the bass, then hi-hat by itself, and you're going to do double kicks on these really fast. So, now, if you have a double bass pedal and you can't go that fast with one foot, use the double bass pedal. But if you can go that fast with one foot, that's definitely preferred to do it with one foot only, not with two. Now, if you don't have a double bass pedal and you can't go this fast with one foot, then what I go over with most of my weekly students is, if they have trouble with this, is some technique exercises with their foot, and they're always surprised how fast they get that. So if you're struggling with doing a double with this foot, contact me, let me know. I can give you some pointers on how to get your foot that fast. But with that being said, worst case scenario, if you just can't do it and you don't have a double bass pedal, then just do this. Just go crash and bass instead of crash and, right? So if you need to, you can just do one bass there until you get used to that. Okay, so the way it goes though, with the double kick here, crash and digga, crash, crash and digga, crash. With one, there we go, crash and bass, crash, crash, crash and bass, crash, crash. All right, so moving on from there, we're going to go over it as if we were doing double kick here. So the first time you crash twice, the second time, and with the snare both times. The second time you just hit the snare twice, no crash. The third time you crash with the snare twice again. So it goes slowly. Again. At tempo. Okay, so that is that section. Then we get into one of my favorite parts of the whole song. I really like this a lot. Now, we are going to do 16th notes on the toms. Okay, now if you don't have 4 toms, then you can just use 3 and do it this way. So you're going to do 8 here, and then 4, and then 5 on the floor tom. So 8, 4, 5. Now if you're counting that, 1 E-enda, 2 E-enda on the high tom, 3 E-enda on the mid tom, 4E and a 1 on the floor tom. So 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1 on the floor tom there. You're going to go 4E and a 1, and then you have some basses. Okay, so putting that together at tempo. Okay, now we're also going to add basses to this as well. Now you can leave the basses out if that is really kind of holding you back, then it's better to just do it, and you can go back and add the basses in. So now we have that, we're going to add basses. You're going to add a bass on every downbeat. So 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. The bass hits on 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So in other words, every 4 hits, you kick the bass. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. The bass hits on every downbeat. Okay, so now after we do that fill, we're going to do dig a crash crash. Bass bass crash crash. Now quite a few of my students like to do it this way. They'll do tom tom instead of bass bass. I mean, it's not really a huge difference if you do bass or floor, but the way it's intended really is the bass. So we're going to do the bass here on that. So putting that part together. Now adding the bass. All right, and there you have the first section. Now the cool part about this is he does it again the third time. So there's the same thing we just did on the third fill. Second fill is different. Okay, so once we do that, we're gonna go dig a crash crash. And that goes back into what we did at the beginning of this, where we go bass, bass crash crash, bass, bass snare snare, bass, bass crash crash. That starts it. So okay, so let's put that together with music, make sure we have that comfortable, then I'll show you the next one. 243. Alright, so we finished the first section. Let's say we're on that one, then we go into the next fill. This one, without the bass, is going to go. Digga-digga-dat-dat. One E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 is the counting on that. Now this is also going to have basses. And you're going to do the basses on every downbeat. Now, so let's break this down just a little bit before we do it. So we know the first fill, and you go 1 and crash, crash. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Let's break it down a bit though. So we're going to do it with bass. Okay, now at tempo. And then you do the dig a crash crash again. And then you go back into the third one. So putting all three of these together, starting from the fill, slowly, it's going to sound like this. right tempo with the music and then adding the last part. Here we go. Same spot, 243. All right, now once you finish the last one, you go. And there you have it. Dig-a-da-dat, crash, 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 or technically dig-a-da-dat, crash, choke, crash, and you crash back into the next verse. Okay, so that is a ton of fun. It is challenging, it is fast, but it's definitely doable. Again, I think one of the hardest things to do is to get used to double kicking with one foot if you're not used to that. If you are, rock on, man, that's awesome. But if you're not, I would really look into maybe working with me a little bit on that. I'd be happy to help you. There's some exercises that'll make it way easier for you to do that, and you'll get it way faster as well. But anyway, so I hope you guys really enjoyed this. If you do have a comfortable double kick with one foot, then great. Maybe lining up the foot with your hands here or getting your hand speed up. Whatever the issue is, if it's hand speeds, there's exercises I have and things that are really awesome shortcuts without skipping things that you need to know. It's just a really fast way to learn it, and there's a certain way you do things. It's not necessarily practice makes perfect. It's perfect practice makes perfect. So again, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this. Have fun, rock on, stay awesome, and I'll see you next time.